The palace trembled. Walls cracked. Torches flickered wildly as if afraid of what was about to happen. At the center of it all, two sisters stood facing each other. Not as family, but as enemies. Adunni, wrapped in darkness, eyes glowing like burning coal, power swirling around her like a living storm. Simi, calm, still, but no longer weak. Her presence carried something different now. Something ancient. Something pure. The prince stood between them, gripping his sword tightly. Enough, he shouted. This ends now. Move. Adunni's voice exploded like thunder. A wave of dark energy blasted forward. The prince was thrown across the hall like a leaf in a storm. He slammed into a pillar, crashing to the ground. Stay out of this, Adunni said coldly. This is not your fight. Simi stepped forward slowly. Her eyes locked onto her sister. You've gone too far. Adunni laughed. Low. Dangerous. And you've always been too weak to understand what it takes to win. The air between them cracked. Power clashed before they even moved. Then, Adunni raised her hand. Darkness exploded from her palm. A massive wave shot toward Simi like a shadow storm. But Simi didn't move. She closed her eyes. And then, light. A soft glow formed around her body. Warm. Pure. The darkness struck. But shattered on impact. Like it hit something untouchable. Adunni's eyes widened slightly. Oh, she whispered. So you've changed too. Simi opened her eyes. Now glowing faintly with golden light. I didn't choose power, she said calmly. It chose me. Adunni smiled again. This time. Excited. Good. Then this will be fun. She vanished. In a blink. She reappeared behind Simi and struck. Boom. The ground cracked as the force hit. Dust filled the air. The palace shook violently. But when the dust cleared, Simi was still standing. She had caught Adunni's hand. For the first time, Adunni froze. Simi looked at her. Not with fear, but with sadness. This isn't you. Adunni's face twisted. This is exactly me. She released a burst of energy at point-blank range. Simi was thrown backward, crashing through a stone wall. The crowd screamed. Guards ran. Chaos spread. Adunni stepped forward slowly, her power rising with every step. You think kindness makes you strong? She shouted. It makes you easy to break. She raised both hands. The ground beneath Simi cracked open. Dark chains shot out, wrapping around her arms, her legs, pulling her down. Simi struggled. The darkness tightened. Adunni walked closer. Her voice now soft. Deadly. You were always behind me. Always weaker. Always second. She leaned down close to Simi's face. And now, you will disappear completely. She raised her hand for the final strike. Enough. A powerful voice echoed through the palace. Everything froze. The air shifted. Again. A bright light filled the room. Stronger than before. Warmer. Older. From the center of the light, the old woman appeared. But this time, she wasn't hiding anything. Her full power was revealed. Both sisters turned. You, Adunni growled. The woman looked at her calmly. I gave you a choice, she said. You chose darkness. She turned to Simi. And you? Her eyes softened. Chose truth. With a wave of her hand, the dark chains shattered instantly. Simi fell free. Breathing hard. Adunni stepped back slightly. For the first time. Uncertain, What are you? She demanded. The woman smiled faintly. I am balance. The room went silent. She raised both hands. Light and darkness swirled together in the air. You were never meant to destroy each other, she said. You were meant to complete each other. Simi looked at Adunni. Tears in her eyes. Sister, please. But Adunni's face hardened again. No. Her power exploded violently. I don't need her. The ground split open. Dark energy roared. I don't need anyone. She launched one final massive attack. Bigger than anything before. The palace shook like it would collapse. Simi closed her eyes. Not in fear, but in acceptance. The old woman stepped forward. Her voice calm. Final. Then you will learn. She raised her hand. Alone. The light collided with darkness. A massive explosion of energy filled the entire palace. Blinding. Deafening. Unstoppable. When the lights faded. Silence. The palace stood, broken. Cracked. Barely standing. Simi lay on the ground. Alive. Weak. But breathing. The prince rushed to her side. Simi. But Adunni was gone. Only shadows remained where she stood. The old woman looked into the distance. Her expression serious. She has crossed deeper into darkness now. Simi slowly sat up. Her voice trembling. Can she still be saved? The woman didn't answer immediately. Then finally. Only if she chooses it. Far away. In the darkest part of the cursed land. Adunni appeared again. Stronger. More dangerous. Her eyes burned brighter than ever. They think this is over, she whispered. A dark smile formed. It's only just begun. The sky never returned to normal. Days passed after the first battle. But the sun no longer shined the same. A dark veil covered the kingdom. The wind carried whispers. Fear lived in every corner. Inside the palace. No one slept peacefully. Cracks still ran along the walls. Guards stood alert day and night. And at the center of it all, Simi stood by the window, staring into the distance. She's coming back, she whispered. The prince stepped beside her. His voice was calm, but heavy. Then this time, we'll be ready. But deep down, they both knew the truth. No one was ready for what Adunni had become. Far beyond the kingdom. The dark land was no longer silent. It was alive. Creatures moved in thousands now. Shadows crawling across the ground. The air thick with power. And at the center, on the throne of bones, sat Adunni. But she had changed again. Her eyes no longer just glowed. They burned. Like two dark suns. Her voice echoed across the land. Bring me everything. The creatures bowed. Burn the villages. Break their walls. Take their hope. She stood slowly. Dark energy rising like flames around her body. And leave the palace. She smiled. For me. That night. It began. A scream echoed from the edge of the kingdom. Then another. Then. Hundreds. Villages burned. Homes collapsed. People ran in terror. The dark army moved like a storm, unstoppable, merciless. Inside the palace, alarms rang. Drums pounded loudly. They are here. Guards rushed to their positions. The gates were shut tight. Archers lined the walls. The king stood tall in his armor. Old. But still a king. We do not run, he said. His voice echoed with authority. We stand. The ground shook. Boom. The outer walls exploded. Dark creatures poured in like a flood. Battle erupted instantly. Steel clashed. Screams filled the air. Fire spread across the city. The prince fought at the front line. His sword moved fast. Precise. Desperate. But for every creature that fell, 3 more replaced it. This is not an army, one guard cried. It's a nightmare. Inside the chaos, Simi stood still. Her eyes closed. Her hands trembling. She's here. Then, the air split open. Darkness poured down like rain. And from it, she stepped out. Adunni. The battlefield froze. Even the creatures paused. She walked forward slowly. Untouched. Unstoppable. Her eyes scanned the destruction. The fire. The fear. Then, she smiled. Beautiful, she whispered. The prince stepped forward, raising his sword. Stop this. Adunni looked at him. Unimpressed. You still think this is something you can stop? With a flick of her hand, he was thrown across the ground violently. He didn't even touch her. Stay down, she said coldly. Then, her eyes found Simi. Standing in the distance. Everything else disappeared. The noise. The battle. The world. Only them. Sister, Adunni said softly. Simi stepped forward. Her voice steady. This ends tonight. Adunni laughed. No. Her eyes darkened. Tonight, everything ends. Before Simi could react, Adunni raised her hand and pointed at the palace. Dark energy shot forward. Boom. The palace exploded. Walls shattered. Columns collapsed. Fire consumed everything. The king, still inside, was thrown back violently. The prince screamed. Father! He ran into the burning ruins. Smoke filled the air. Flames everywhere. Then, silence. Slowly, the king's body was carried out. Still, unmoving. Gone. The kingdom had lost its king. Simi fell to her knees. Tears streaming. Adunni watched. No emotion. You see now, she said quietly. Power is the only truth. The prince stepped forward again. His face filled with pain and rage. You've destroyed everything, he shouted. Adunni looked at him. No. Her voice was calm. I've revealed what was always weak. The city burned. The people cried. The kingdom was falling. Simi slowly stood up. Her tears dried. Her pain turned into something else. Something stronger. She looked at her sister. No more running. Her voice changed. No more mercy. Light exploded from her body. Brighter than ever before. The ground beneath her cracked. Adunni's smile widened. Yes. Finally. A real fight. The kingdom burned. Flames rose into the sky like a warning to the gods. Ash fell like black snow. Screams faded into silence. And in the middle of it all, 2 forces stood ready to decide everything. Simi. Surrounded by pure, golden light. Her presence calm, but powerful enough to shake the earth itself. Adunni. Wrapped in endless darkness. Her energy wild, destructive, unstoppable. The wind howled between them. The ground trembled beneath their feet. This was not just a fight. This was the end. Adunni smiled slowly. So, you're finally ready to stop pretending. Simi's eyes glowed brighter. I'm ready to stop you. Silence. Then, they moved. Boom. Light and darkness collided in a massive explosion that split the sky open. The force blasted everything around them, walls, fire, even the ground itself cracked under the pressure. Adunni attacked first. Fast. Brutal. Relentless. Dark energy shot forward like blades, slicing through the air. Simi countered instantly. Her light formed a shield, strong, radiant. Every attack shattered against it. They clashed again. And again. And again. Each hit stronger than the last. Each impact shaking what remained of the kingdom. The prince watched from a distance, injured but conscious. Helpless. This isn't a fight between humans anymore, he whispered. Adunni rose into the air. Darkness swirling around her like a storm. You think you can beat me, she shouted. I gave up everything for this power. Simi lifted slowly into the air as well. Her voice calm. And you lost everything because of it. Adunni screamed. And unleashed everything. A massive wave of darkness erupted from her body. Bigger than anything before. It swallowed the sky. Covered the land. Turned day into night. Simi closed her eyes. Then, she spread her arms. Light exploded outward. Pure. Blinding. Infinite. The two forces collided. The world shook. Time itself felt like it stopped. Inside the storm. They stood face to face. Closer than ever. No army. No kingdom. No noise. Just two sisters. Adunni's voice broke slightly. You should have stayed behind me. I was trying to save us. Simi's eyes softened. No. You were trying to control everything. Tears formed in Adunni's eyes. But burned away instantly. I was nothing without power, she shouted. You were never nothing. Simi cried back. You had me. Silence. For a moment. The darkness flickered. Just a little. Then. Adunni screamed again. It's too late. She released one final attack. Everything she had left. All her power. All her pain. All her rage. A single, massive strike of pure darkness. Simi looked at it. And understood. There was only one way to end this. She closed her eyes. And stepped forward. Not to fight. But to embrace. The darkness hit her. But she didn't push it away. She absorbed it. All of it. Pain shot through her body. Her light flickered. Her knees almost gave out. But she held on. Then. She reached forward. And grabbed Adunni. Pulled her close. Held her. Like a sister. Adunni froze. What are you doing? She whispered. Simi's voice trembled. Ending this, the only way I can. Light began to spread. Not outward. But inward. Into Adunni. The darkness screamed. Literally screamed. As if it was alive. Adunni's body shook violently. Her eyes flickered between light and darkness. No. And no, she cried. I don't want to lose this. Simi held tighter. You're not losing anything. Her voice broke. You're coming back. The light grew stronger. The darkness cracked. Piece by piece. It shattered. Until. Silence. The explosion that followed. Was not destruction. It was release. A wave of energy spread across the kingdom. The fires died. The sky cleared. The darkness vanished. When it was over, two bodies fell to the ground. Still. Quiet. The prince ran forward. Simi. He dropped beside her. She was breathing. Weak. But alive. Then. He looked beside her. Adunni. Her body, Normal again. No darkness. No power. Just a girl. Broken. But alive. Slowly. Adunni opened her eyes. Tears fell instantly. I saw everything, she whispered. Her voice shaking. I became a monster. Simi reached for her hand. Weakly. But you came back. Adunni broke down completely. Crying. Shaking. I'm sorry, she whispered. For everything. Simi smiled softly. I know. The prince looked at them both. And for the first time, there was peace. Days later, the kingdom began to rebuild. Not as it was before, but stronger. Wiser. The throne remained empty for a time. Because this time, power would not decide the future. Truth would. Adunni left the palace. Not in exile, but by choice. To find herself again. And this time, she didn't walk alone in darkness. She walked with a chance to heal. Simi stood beside the prince. Not as someone who won, but as someone who saved. And their story became more than a tale. It became a lesson. That power without love destroys. But love, even when broken, can still save. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. Red heart. Your support truly means everything to me. Every like, comment, and share helps this story reach more amazing people like you. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss what comes next. Bellfire. Tell me in the comments, which part shocked you the most? And whose side are you on? Adunni or Simi? Eyes. Also, let me know where you're watching from. Globe showing Europe Africa. I love seeing how far our story family has grown. Until next time, stay safe, stay inspired, and keep believing in powerful story sparkles.